Hello. It is Phoebe Dre, the Cashflow Pocket Rocket, and I'm so excited to be coming to you live with my fortnightly, well, almost fortnightly webinar. I think the last one that I was going to do was actually when I had a half-day workshop on. So if you didn't attend my half-day workshop, it was such a great day. I had so many people enjoying it, and I had 6 attendees on live, which is fantastic. I was really happy with that. So today I am coming to you live in the Facebook group. And I am just, bear with me because I'm trying to do everything all at once. I'm going to make sure that if anyone comments, so I've got my phone here, I can see if you're commenting. Make sure that you say hello if you're listening, where you're listening from. And yes, there's someone watching right now. So whoever that is, maybe it's Jessie, my VA, I don't know. But if you are watching this live, I'd love for you to comment and start sharing and posting and commenting and let me show me all the love. Send me the love hearts. Jessie, it is you. Hello, Jessie. Thank you for jumping on live. I am a little bit late today. I'm sorry. I had a client meeting that ran over, but I was committed to doing this and showing up for you today. And Jessie, you'll be pleased to know that I'm recording this, so it's going to go onto my YouTube as well when Jessie edits it. And oh dear, I hope that background noise isn't horrendous. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to dash and run and shut my door. Give me 1 sec. Sorry about that. Nothing like real life. So I work from home, and just across the road, they're doing some tree lopping today. So anyway, I'm Phoebe Dre, the Cashflow Pocket. Welcome back to the Business Mastery Secrets Facebook group, fortnightly webinars. And today I'm talking all about when you know it's time to increase your prices. So I wanted to share with you my 6 tips, or my 6 keys, I guess, or 6 like factors that when they pop up in your business, you know it's time to review your prices and actually see how you can, grow your income from increasing prices. It's one of the ways. So there's lots of different ways you can grow your profit. And one of them is definitely price increases. And I remember when I had the accounting firm, just by putting our prices up just a little bit was a huge, it was like $20,000 or $30,000 extra income a year just from putting our prices up. So it's a really important strategy, making sure that it's planned out well, that you communicate with your team and your clients about the changes that are coming in, and you have a strategy in place to work with your clients and make sure, you've got, if your team members, for example, answer a phone call from one of your clients disgruntled that the prices are putting up, making sure your team member knows exactly what they need to say and how they need to discuss it with the client to make sure that you can retain all of your clients and you don't lose any through this process. And I think that's probably one of the biggest fears of business owners, if they put up their prices, that they're going to lose all of their clients. But to be honest, it's not the case. Most people are kind of understanding, especially at the moment when fuel prices are increasing so much. Food costs are probably going to go up. So living costs in general are all increasing. So they really understand that wages are probably also going to be going up soon. They do understand that you have to also increase your prices because they, at the end of the day, want you to be a profitable business, because if you're not a profitable, successful business, you won't be able to serve them for much longer. You'll be out of business before you know it, because you won't actually be making any profit or cash flow. Okay, so my 6 top tips for when you need to put up your prices. Number 1 is business is absolutely booming and you cannot keep up. Are you working 12, 13, 14 hours a day just trying to keep up with your existing clients? So you're doing all the work during the day, and then at night you're coming home and you're sitting down in front of your computer screen and you're doing invoicing and you're doing quotes. You're trying to catch up on all your administration, and things are starting to slip. So if your business is getting so busy that things are starting to slip through the cracks, you aren't able or having enough time to actually try and bring on new clients to work with, you're not doing any of your consistent marketing activities or sales activities, then you really know it's time to increase your prices. And the thing is, in this situation, if you do lose 1 or 2 clients, which is probably in the event the only clients that you may possibly lose, you're actually just buying back yourself some time. So with the increase in prices, the customers and clients that do stay with you, you'll actually probably earn more money, even if you lose 1 or 2 customers than what you were before, and you actually buy yourself back some time. So you actually get some time back in your day to do those administration tasks, to do your sales and your marketing strategy, and to make sure you're taking those consistent actions. Because what happens if you do lose one of your clients unforeseen for some reason, they shutting their business or they're going overseas or whatever reason that you might lose a client, if you haven't been doing that consistent marketing activity and you're no longer visible out in the marketplace, you're the best kept secret, then you can't keep to grow your business. So actually inputting your prices up when your business is booming is really important. And often what happens, and I find with a lot of my clients, especially a lot of tradies as well and service-based business owners, is you start out really low with your prices. And then you realize that you're getting super busy and you're actually not making that much money at the end of the day. So then you try and start putting up your prices, and a lot of your customers could potentially just be very price sensitive. So they're not with you because they value your service or value the the quality that you do, or the customer service that you offer. They're just really with you because you're the cheapest on the market. And if that's the case, then what you'll find is often you'll lose those clients. They're not going to be very sticky. So it's like those customers that go into the supermarket and they're not really that passionate about a brand. They just want to buy their noodles. So they want 2-minute noodles. They're not passionate about a particular brand. And if they see another brand on sale, they'll probably grab that one instead of what they would normally buy. So they're not really sticky clients. They'll often just jump to the next cheapest. So you really want to find clients that value you and value your service and value the products that you offer. And then there'll be sticky clients. And if you put your prices up, they're understanding. Alternatively, if sales are slow, it may be an indication that you potentially need to review your pricing strategy. So I always say to someone, having 5 clients paying you $2,000 each compared to having no clients paying you $5,000 or $10,000 is better than, it's better to have 5 clients paying you $2,000 than no clients paying you $10,000. So if you're finding that you've been sending out quotes, or you've been doing discovery calls, or you've been making your sales calls, or you've been meeting with people, and price is one of the main reasons why people have got an objection to working with you, then maybe at this stage it is worth your while looking at your pricing and seeing whether either you need to tweak the value and how you're actually selling your products or services. So maybe you need a bit more coaching around how to value your products and how to be able to communicate that with your customers. Or maybe it is that your prices are just a little bit too high right now. And maybe as you get more experience and more knowledge and expertise, and maybe doing a bit of market research and finding out what competitors are also charging for similar services, that's you kind of look at where you may need to tweak your prices. So if your business is really slow and you're finding you're getting a lot of objections purely around price, then that's maybe an indication that you've either put the prices up too high or there's not enough value, perceived value in what you're offering. So whether it's sales training or marketing training for you to be able to sell the value of what you're doing rather than just selling a service, or maybe it's actually like tweaking your prices and putting them down a little bit. But just not it's a short-term thing. You should always have a strategy in place to review your prices on an ongoing basis. So whether that's every 3 months, I would suggest 3 months, especially with how quickly prices are changing in the marketplace at the moment, especially if you're a builder or in the trade services industry. Materials and costs of materials are going up and up and up all the time. I'm hearing stories from some of my clients around 100%, 200% increases all the time. And that can be, really difficult for business owners. Hello, Sandra. Nice to see you on here too. So I'm just checking my comments. Oh, no, I can't stop it. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. Sorry, everyone. I'm kind of new to all this tech stuff, and doing it on my own sometimes is a bit hard. So hello, Sandra. Thank you for checking in today. Okay, so if your sales are slow, maybe it's time to kind of just review that as well. And then as you get really busy, then especially after, every 3 months, checking your prices and making sure you're reviewing them. And if you're just getting super busy, then starting to put those prices up. And I was chatting to one of my clients today, actually, and we were saying she hadn't put her prices up for a very long time with her customers. So from the 1st of July this year, she's actually going to increase her existing customers just by 2%. It's only inflation, or probably even less than inflation at the moment. And then for all new clients, she's going to put that up to a higher rate as well. So, and we've talked about having a strategy so that over the next 3 months, she can put in place a strategy so that she communicates with existing clients, and she also lets new clients that are coming on board. And maybe she could do a bit of a sale before the end of the financial year and say, all my prices are going up on the 1st of July. So if you've been thinking about working with me, make sure you get in now so you can secure the pre-30 June prices, because they're all going up on the 1st of July. Okay, so number 3 is if you introduce a new product or service. So when you're thinking about introducing a new product or service to your existing line, is a really good time to actually do an evaluation of all your products and services. And what you'll often find is the Pareto Principle will be in play. And if you haven't heard of that before, it's also referred to as the 80-20 rule. And what they say is that 80% of your income is actually generated generally from 20% of your products or services. And it's the 80-20 rule. So like, say you've got a really big team, you might say that 20% of your team members are actually producing 80% of the work that you're delivering. Or, in your closet, you might have a whole, row of dresses, and you might find that you actually only wear 20% of those clothes regularly. The other 80% you actually hardly ever wear. So it's the Pareto Principle. Have a look at it. It's a really important principle. But really good time, if you're going to introduce a new product or service, is to do an evaluation of your current products or services and just see if some of them maybe need to get put to the side, made obsolete, do a flash sale and get rid of them, and then no longer offer those services or products anymore. Because you'll find actually by doing this analysis that probably some of them aren't actually making you any money. But you do at the same time need to evaluate the product or service, because, for example, in the accounting firm, and I always go back to that, is we used to have a lot of individual clients who we do just an end of year tax return for. So it'd be about $150 fee. And we had quite a lot of them. And I was always hesitant to get rid of them because you never knew when one of them might start a business, or they might actually refer a friend who has a business, because if I do really good service to them, even if it's just an individual tax return, there might be potential for that client to refer someone to me, or eventually do a business, or they might buy an investment property, or they might like to actually set up their own self-managed super fund. So I really looked at the value of the client, and I didn't want to get rid of them because there was a really good database for me to market my existing services to. So excuse me, when you do evaluate your products or services and you're thinking about making some obsolete and taking them off your product suite, make sure that you actually determine whether there's an opportunity for them to grow into more in the future if you nurtured them. But if they're not, if you think it's time to get rid of them, then recommend that you can get rid of them. And then if you're bringing on a new product or service, really sitting down and evaluating the cost to bring that product or service to market, and making sure that you price it effectively so that you're actually making a good profit margin to enable you to have a great profit on that business, which then helps you to grow your business even more, because with more profit, you can grow your business and you can take it to that next level. You can also pay yourself a better profit distribution from the business, which we always love because we're in business to make money at the end of the day. So really looking at, when you bring on a new product or service, first of all, review your existing products or services. Maybe there's some that you can make obsolete. And for the products or services that you bring on, make sure you really deep dive into those and make sure you understand the full cost of that product or services, and that you're pricing it effectively so that you're actually making a really good profit on it. If your costs change, so what I was talking about, number 4, if your costs change. So in the building industry at the moment, if you're a tradie, material prices are going absolutely through the roof. I heard steel had increased by like 200%. I've heard bricklayers prices had gone up dramatically because there was a shortage of bricklayers. So just being really aware of your costs and really making sure that you take the time every month to review your profit and loss, understand the full costs that you're incurring as a business owner to run your business, and making sure that you're pricing your products and services effectively to cover the increase in prices that you're receiving. So as I said, I think you should put in your calendar as every 3 months at least to do an analysis of your products and services that you're selling, and making sure that you've got a good profit margin in there and you're factoring in any increases in prices on any of the materials or goods or services, or even employee costs that are going into creating that product or service. Number 5, if you haven't reviewed your prices in a long time. So hands up if you're guilty of this one. I know this, when you're a busy business owner and you get busy doing all the do, often one of the last things you kind of get around to is actually taking the time to step out of your business and review your pricing. And often it's something that's a bit scary. People don't like putting up their prices. They're worried they're going to lose customers. So often it's kind of the last thing you want to do. You might find the easy task that you get onto first and you action them, but the ones that actually that you really need to do, like increasing prices, gets put to the bottom of the list because it's a little bit uncomfortable and you don't really like doing it. So if you haven't done this for a long period of time, it's probably my number 1 activity that you need to do today is actually to review those prices and making sure that you've still got good profit in your products and services, and then putting in place a strategy to increase your prices. So now this time of year is probably a good time to start looking at this, because you could potentially say, well, 1st of July, the new financial year, we're going to be putting our prices up, and you've now got about 10 weeks to really review that strategy and make sure you've got a really good process in place to communicate with clients, to make sure your team members are aware of it, and that you've got the right strategy moving forward. So clients aren't blindsided by the increase in prices, and you discuss it with them and maybe give them the opportunity to negotiate with you as well. So if you haven't reviewed your prices in a long time, the one action you need to take after today's session is to make sure that you sit down and review your prices and put in place a plan to actually increase those prices by the 1st of July at the very latest. That is my challenge for you. And I want you to comment below when you've done this, and I want you to tell me that you've done it, because I really want to hold you accountable, because this is so, so important, especially with inflation that's happening at the moment and other prices and costs in your business going up. And number 6 today is all around your competitors. So if your competitors change their prices, it's probably a good indication that maybe it's time for you to also change your prices. I always say when you're in business to really stay in your own lane and don't get distracted what other people out there are doing, because you're always going to find customers or, you know, clients that love you and want to work with you, because at the end of the day, business is a relationship. But being aware of what your competitors are doing is really important, just to make sure that you're on track, you're staying relevant, and you're keeping your business competitive in the marketplace. You're not just kind of just going off into the unknown, into the wilderness all on your own without actually really understanding what's happening in the marketplace. So make sure you're aware of what's going on in the marketplace, what your competitors are charging. And if they're looking at actually increasing prices, well, it's potentially a good time for you to also review your prices. So they're my 6 top tips today of when it's time for you to increase your prices in your business. So number 1, if your business is absolutely booming and you're finding that you can't keep up and things are starting to slip through the cracks, absolutely a time when you need to increase prices. On the flip side, if your sales are low, it's maybe then that you need to look at doing some more training or some more education around how to sell the value of what you're offering, but also potentially maybe reviewing your prices at that stage and putting them down a little bit, just so that you can get some clients, get some experience, get some testimonials under your belt, and then put in place a strategy to increase them again. Number 3 is when you introduce a new product or service, so making sure you do your review of your existing products or services, maybe make some that aren't really profitable obsolete and just getting rid of them so that you're not draining your time. But then just making sure you do the analysis, and then introducing a new product or service, make sure you really deep dive into the costs associated with bringing that product or service to market and how much it costs you to actually sell it and to produce it and then sell it, and making sure that you're putting your prices relevant. And then maybe so for example, if you're a coach like myself, and I'm doing one-on-one coaching, but I'm looking at bringing in a 12-month coaching program, which I've got. So what could happen then is I say, well, if people want to work with me one-on-one, I'm bringing in a 12-month group coaching program, so they can join the 12-month group coaching program at a lower rate. But if they actually want to work with me one-on-one, then my one-on-one fees are going to go up substantially. So people can join my group coaching program, still get amazing benefits, still get me there holding their hand, still helping them, but then my one-on-one coaching might increase at that time. So you might look at doing something like that. Or where if up to date, you've only been doing group type things, but you think, oh, actually, I'd like to do some one-on-one coaching or some one-on-one services, a bit more premium, then you could bring that up in as a higher price. So just looking at what you're actually doing in your business, and if you bring in a new product, where it could sit in the product matrix. Number 4 is if your costs change. So making sure you're really on top of your costs in the business, making sure you're reviewing your general ledger every single month and understand exactly where your costs are going and how much they are and whether you're still profitable. So if your costs do change at the moment, inflation is going crazy. So making sure that you're aware of what all the costs are of your business, and you're seeing things go up, especially if you're a product-based business and you're using materials or cost of goods sold and they're increasing, then it's really eating into the profit margin on your products or services. So you definitely need to make sure you're aware of that increase and increase your prices in line so that you're still making a good profit. Number 5, if you haven't reviewed your prices in a long time, definitely make this a goal. This is the one thing I want you to do. If you haven't done this, to sit down today and make sure that you review your prices. And I want you to comment on this post and let me know that you've actually done it, because this is so, so important. And then number 6, even though I always say stay in your own lane, it is important that you are aware of what your competitors are doing. And if your competitors are actually starting to increase their prices, it's probably a good opportunity for you to also review your prices and potentially increase them. So I hope today's it's not a podcast, it's my Facebook Live, and my video has been helpful for you. I've absolutely loved sharing this with you. If you don't know where to find me, you can find my podcast. It's called Profit to Cash. Absolutely love that. I also do half-day workshops. I'm coming to Adelaide. So if anyone on here is from Adelaide, or you know someone who's based in Adelaide who you think could benefit from coming to my half-day business profitability intensive workshop, where you learn my 6 steps to creating a profitable, successful business aligned to your passion and purpose, then make sure you let them know about that, or make sure you contact me and I'll send you the booking link. And I'll give you a special discount just because you commented and said that you watched my video. Otherwise, you can find me on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, on my website for free resources if you're wanting some extra help with my free resources. And really exciting, I've got my very first in-person meetup coming up on the 4th of May here on the Gold Coast. So if you love connecting with other business owners and you want to get to an in-person event, I realized over the weekend when I went to the Blues Fest at Byron Bay how much I absolutely love in-person events and being around positive and passionate people. So I'm creating my own in-person event. So if you haven't been, make sure you let me know about that one. It's only $15 and includes a welcome drink. So make sure you come along to that. I've got the beautiful Julia Zekel presenting about sales and all your sales strategy. So if you know that you really need to focus on your sales and you could learn some more tips and strategies around how to do that confidently, then make sure you come along to that workshop on the 4th of May at 6:30 p.m. It's in Surfers Paradise. Send me a message, let me know, and I can give you all the details. So I'm Phoebe Dre, the Cashflow Pocket Rocket. Thank you so much for joining me live today on Facebook for this webinar in the Business Mastery Secrets Facebook group. And I can't wait to connect with you again in the future to share some more tips and tricks around how you can create a profitable, successful business aligned to your passion and purpose. Have a fantastic day. Bye.